What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for MLB Tuesday, June 14th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's MLB slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 14-game slate tonight, so let's take a look at the pitcher position. So despite a poor performance last game, where he actually scored -5 fantasy points, I like Garrett Cole. And he's got a pitching advantage here over a low salary batting team, the Tampa Bay Rays. So Garrett Cole pitches his best ball versus switch hitters, only giving up a .493 OPS versus switch hitters. And he's facing 4 switch hitters here tonight. On top of that, the Rays have hit 31 out of 118 pitches. That's a .263 batting average. He's $10,400 FanDuel salary, 100 more on DraftKings, averaging 36 fantasy points per game on the season. He has an ERA of 3.63. Record is 5-1, pitching an average of 92 pitches per game. So I like Garrett Cole here versus the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, if you're looking to save some salary at the pitcher position, take a look at Tyler Mahle. And he's got a pitching advantage here over the Arizona Diamondbacks. Tyler Mahle is only giving up a .648 OPS versus lefties and a .556 OPS versus switch hitters. He's facing 5 lefties, 2 switch hitters, and the Diamondbacks have only hit 8 of his last 36 pitches. He's averaging 26 fantasy points per game on the season, but he scored 49, 31, and 48 fantasy points in the last 3 games. Oh, he is 8,600 FanDuel salary, and he's 1,100 less on DraftKings. So I think he makes a pretty good value play at pitcher here tonight. He has an ERA of 5.07, record is 2-5, but he's pitching an average of 95 pitches per game. So he's been on a hot streak, and I like this matchup. So I like Tyler Mahle here versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher first base position. I like Rhys Hoskins with a 17% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Trevor Rogers. Rhys Hoskins is batting 13% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .894 OPS versus lefties. Trevor Rogers, he's giving up a .750 OPS versus righties. But I like this pick because Rhys Hoskins is 5 for 11. That's a .455 batting average and a 1.629 OPS versus Rogers, because 2 of those hits are for home runs. He's 3,300 FanDuel salary, 900 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. He has a batting average of .237, but I love this batter versus pitcher matchup. So I like Rhys Hoskins here versus Trevor Rogers. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And then we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. So here's a value play to look at. take a look at Harold Castro with a 28% batting advantage over Dylan Cease. Harold Castro is batting 15% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .719 OPS versus righties. Dylan Cease pitching his worst ball versus lefty batters, giving up a .762 OPS versus lefties. And I like this pick because Harold Castro is 10 for 23. That's a .435 batting average and a 1.174 OPS versus Cease. He's only $2,200 FanDuel salary. He's $1,700 more on DraftKings, averaging 7 fantasy points per game on the season, but he scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games, and he has a batting average of .295. So I like Harold Castro here versus Dylan Cease. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. Here's another value play that I like. Take a look at Ezekiel Duran with a 61% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Jose Urquidy. Ezekiel Duran batting 40% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .946 OPS versus righties. Jose Urquidy pitching 22% worse to righties as he does lefties, giving up a .829 OPS versus righties. There's no at-bats versus Urquidy yet, and I like this pick because Ezekiel Duran only $2,500 FanDuel salary, and he's $300 less on DraftKings. He's averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 22, 29, and 18 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I think this is an absolute steal here tonight. He's got a batting average of .312. So I like Ezekiel Duran here versus Jose Urquidy.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, let's take a look at the shortstop position. Not much that I loved here at the shortstop position. So the player that I like is Xander Bogaerts, and he's batting against a low salary pitcher, Jared Koenig. And Xander Bogaerts, he's batting a .911 OPS versus lefties. Jared Koenig is giving up a .917 OPS versus righties. There's no at-bats versus Koenig yet. Xander Bogaerts is $3,500 FanDuel salary, $1,500 more on DraftKings, averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. He has a batting average of .321, so I like Xander Bogaerts here versus Jared Koenig. Okay, moving on to the outfield position. I got a home run hitter for you here tonight. I like Yordan Alvarez with a 24% batting advantage over Dane Dunning. Yordan Alvarez is batting 14% better versus righty pitchers, batting a 1.012 OPS versus righties. Dane Dunning pitches his worst ball versus lefty batters, giving up a .805 OPS versus lefties. And Yordan Alvarez is 3 for 6 with a 1.500 OPS versus Dunning. One of those 3 hits is for a home run. He's $4,100 FanDuel salary, $1,400 more on DraftKings, averaging 13 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. He's got a batting average of .311. So I like Yordan Alvarez here versus Dane Dunning. So I also like Josh Naylor. But another guy that I like is Michael Brantley
He has a 31% batting advantage over Dane Dunning. Michael Brantley batting 21% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .867 OPS versus righties. Dane Dunning, we know, pitching his worst ball versus lefty batters, giving up a .805 OPS versus lefties. Michael Brantley is 1 for 3 versus Dunning. He's $2,900 FanDuel salary, $1,100 more on DraftKings, averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games, and he has a batting average of .291. So I like Michael Brantley here versus Dane Dunning.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.